Okay. Wow. All right. Hopefully, I got this thing going correctly. Okay. Um, I want to start off talking about relationships. But before I do that, I want to go in and say that what I do talk about is just, I am not a certified relationship counselor. I do not have the end all be all statement as this is the right way, wrong way. Talk about would be, um, I want to say person to person, but in all aspects, it does apply. You know, many things regarding to relationships. Uh, the first thing, um, what the just bear with me a moment here, making sure I have this recording correctly. Okay. So anyway, um, I'm going to start with long distance relationships because there are some people that absolutely despise them or hate them. And truth be told, long distance relationships aren't bad. Long distance relationships, to me, and just my opinion, they're for more disciplined people. And when you're in a long distance relationship, or you both choose to be in a long distance relationship, you have to have a lot of things on the same page together. You got to make sure you're reading the same book, same page, same chapter. Um, Communication is vital at all costs to making that relationship work. Some of the things that you would definitely need to discuss is who's moving where, who's traveling where, so forth and so forth. But when it comes to communication, these things are so important. Making time for that person and letting them know that you're interested in what you're doing, and you're serious about that relationship. So some examples of FaceTime, uh, some type of social media, texting, calling. Because there's many of you out there that will just text a person and think that's okay, or I'm not a phone person. Well, when we didn't have cell phones, how did you communicate with the person? You make time for that person. So it's like if you tell that guy or girl you're interested and you're just texting them only, you're not showing them anything. You're really not. They're not going to take you serious. Um, Now, let's just say you're wanting to start a long distance relationship, but you're currently in a relationship. It's and it's not going the way that it should be in that relationship. Um, some things that are very important is you want to communicate in that relationship that you're currently in what your needs are. Are your needs being met? If they're not being met, how can they be met? Now, if that individual, man or woman, are not listening to you, or they're just condescending, or just patronizing you, and oh baby, I know what you want, I understand, I'll make it work, and they're really not, um, you need to make some serious decisions. Do you stick it out and just suck it up and just deal with it? Because then If you do, you are actually settling. Uh, or you can go with the fact of, okay, you know what? It's time to end it. It's time to move on. And if there is another person that you are interested in, make sure you have a clean break before you even step out your relationship and look at someone else. Because the moment you step out your relationship to even start talking about a potential relationship with someone else, you are in fact wrong. Period. There's no ways, if, ands, or buts about it. You're wrong. So you want to make sure you do things the right way. Because we always say karma's a bitch. And then you play into karma, and then when it happens to you, you don't know why it's going wrong or what did you do wrong. It's because you didn't do it the right way. There's always a right way to do things. So, you know, you have to take a lot of things into consideration when it comes to, you know, relationships and so forth. And, you know, it's communication is so important. Now, there are some of you that are in relationships with people that are younger than you. They say age is nothing but a number. I have to agree and disagree at the same time. Because if you are in your 40s and you're dating somebody who's 21 years old, your conversation is going to be completely different. Completely. Now, there are some people that, oh, well, they're mature for their age. I don't give a damn how mature they are for their age. There are some things you will never have in common. They have not even experienced anything you have experienced yet, so they wouldn't even know how to understand you, or better yet, give you the sound advice or encouragement that you would absolutely need from your partner. So, it's like shooting yourself in the foot and then saying, hey, why is there a hole in my foot? You just shot yourself. So these are things to look at. Something else when it comes to long distance relationships, you have those people out there that will be like, oh, I don't have the time, it's so hectic, blah, blah, blah. Leave those people alone. They're showing you. They are showing you are not a priority. And for all of you out there that if someone talks about how they feel with you not communicating with them and you call it complaining, don't even entertain a relationship with that person, because that person's not going to, anything you tell them, they're just going to look at you crazy. They're going to be like, oh yeah, well, whatever. Just like as a man, my actions and my words have to meet. Same thing with you, women. Your actions have to meet your words. If they do not, you cannot expect a man to do what you're not willing to do yourself. It does not work that way. It's called effort. There are so many of us out here that will not put any effort. And if you do put effort, it's a little bit here and there. But you don't put any effort into anything that you want, and then you expect it to flourish. So a lot of us want the benefits of an amazing relationship but don't want to put in the hard work. Now, I know there's a lot of you all out there that will see little memes on Facebook. I'm going to kind of tiptoe away from long distance relationships for a little bit, and I'm going to talk about a few things when it comes to memes and things on Facebook. Let me see if I can find it first, because I want to make sure that I'm talking about the right things and not, giving the wrong information, because I do believe that is very important. There's many of us out there that we will, go off of false information, or we'll take 1% of information and make the most screwed up decisions and then wonder why. Well, man, what happened? Why is this not working? So, one of the memes I want to start with is, let's see. There are me see. Okay, bear with me a moment. What the heck this stuff is. Um, let's see. There are memes out there in regards to men that are posting memes as in how a man is supposed to treat a woman, and man, I hate that. In regards to how a man's supposed to treat a woman or whatever, and this is only my opinion. I think they do it for brownie points, and they are wanting these women to like what they say. And truth be told, one that I came across. A man knows if he only wants sex with you or a future with you after a first date. If he hasn't made his intentions known, you're temporary. Stop training him for the girl after you. Value yourself. Now, when I read that meme, at first I thought I had to really think about it before I spoke on it. And one of the things that I would say the first part of when a man he goes out with you on a first date, 9 times out of 10 he already knows if he wants to have sex with you or not. He already knows it. Now the second part to that, a future with you after your first date. No man. And it's very, very, very few that know, if they want a future with you, as in, marrying you and so forth. And so, it's definitely a challenge in that aspect, because so many people will go off of these type of memes, and their expectations become so high. Truth of the matter is, there are a lot of women out there that actually go by these memes that they're reading and think this is how men are supposed to be. Well, the fact of the matter is, it's not true, because there are many men out there know for a fact that women are mental, and they know the mental game, and they will get into your head and they will destroy your mind. And you will not know the difference between a good man and a crappy man. You won't know the difference because you don't know what the hell to look for. Most of you are stuck on appearance, just like men are. We're physical creatures, so are women. If that person is physically attractive to you, he's tall, he's dark, he's attractive, he's got pretty eyes, oh, he's intelligent. You get so wrapped on that person that you're looking at evil in disguise. And you are. That's the sad thing. And many of you know it, and you'll bypass any red flags just because of how this person is making you feel right now. And that's sad. You got to get past that. Now, when you go into something that's important, I feel, is communication. Because communication, a lot of us, we suck at it. We're so horrible at communication. It's like disgusting. And it's really horrible. Let me see if I can find something I can go off of that I ran across that I thought was just straight ridiculously stupid. Let's see. Because I'm a part of different groups, and I run into different types of people, and I do run into those that they make no sense at all. So just bear with me a moment while I find what I'm looking for. Oh, okay. So, this one lady says this. I'm just going to read it. First off, I do not date out of my race. Now that said, I have a 6-year-old son who means more than this world, and will do anything for. I have a wonderful personality. I love to go have fun, go out to eat, or just have dinner and a movie at home. Okay, so I love going out on the river. I am a Christian and also want a Christian man who has morals. Now, let me help you all understand something. Christian means Christ-like. So many of you out there get that word so freaking confused. It's pathetic. It really is. Stop that. Because many of you out there are not Christ-like. And it shows through what this woman just said. You know, it's like, well, wait a minute, hold on. She strictly went off of, okay, she says, I don't date outside my race. So your dating pool, you just pretty much cut that down. And then you have females like her that will say, I don't date under this height. You're cutting out of your dating pool. And then you wonder why you can't run into the decent type men, because you're taking your preferences and you're cutting out what could possibly be a good thing for you. And you won't accept anything that contributes to you not being happy, as in your own personal actions. That's something we definitely got to get away from, because, you know, we all want that great relationship. But most of us, again, like I said, are not putting the effort in. We'll see, you know, people in relationships that have been out there for like 20 plus years, and we're like, oh man, I want something like that. No, you don't. Stop lying. Because if you did, just because you see a few things, or you're running through a few obstacles, or you might struggle a little bit, that does not mean throw in a towel, run off, and find somebody who's already well off, who could possibly treat you worse than the person who's going through a struggle that could become better. You know, we're all about ourselves. What can this person do for me? There's the mistake we have, because it's all about me, 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 me. And we have to get past that. And it's really sad that we don't get past that. And so what I want to do is I want to put out a few things that I hope will help many of you out there when it comes to dating. And one of those is, we need to learn how to ask the right questions. Stop asking easy questions. Stop asking for yes or no questions, because it doesn't give a person a reason to want to think. And that's not a good thing, because they're not thinking. So what you want to do is ask a few questions. I decided to, I was going to write these questions down. I just have to find them first, because I think they're really good questions. So one of the questions would be, let's see here. What are 3 traits that a man or woman should have? And what are the 3 traits that a man or a woman should have that would make them stand out amongst everybody else? Ladies, I'm sorry, but y'all beat a dead horse. Y'all beat a dead horse. You beat a dead horse. Oh, I want a man to be unique. I want him to stand out. You got all those hounds in your inboxes on your phone sending you pics that you absolutely don't want, or say you don't want, but you're actually inviting those pictures. If you're not open-minded, it doesn't matter what a man does. He's not going to stand out. Because, one, he doesn't fit your criteria, as in what you are looking for physically in a man. Same thing with the men. You can't take the same approach that these women do, and then you're still looking stupid. It doesn't work. So the next question you would want to ask is, if you would have died today or tomorrow, what would your legacy be? That's a very important question to ask anyone. Because if you don't know what your legacy is or what you'd be leaving behind, then that tells anybody that you're not on that level where you're still growing and progressing. You're content on where you are. The next question would be, if you continue doing what you're doing today, what would your life be like 5 to 10 years from now? If you come across somebody that says they don't know, there is a problem, because they haven't thought anywhere about the future at all. I know a lot of us are like, well, I think about the now, I don't worry about the future. You need to worry about the future, because if you don't worry about the future, you're going to be spinning your wheels, repeating history. And those things are so important to ask. You need to ask those questions, because if you're not asking those questions, you're not picking a person's brain. Next question you want to ask a person is, what personal development are they doing to better themselves? Are they reading personal development books? Most people will tell you no. Most people don't like to read. But if they're truly trying to better themselves, become a better person for that person that's out there for them, they're going to be doing something. Let's take school and college off the table, because that's an easy answer. Take that off the table. Another question you can ask, and this one's going to be a really interesting question. That question would be, if I take sex, money, cooking, and chores off the table, what do you bring to the table? That's a challenging question, because the first thing most women think is, oh, for men it's sex. No, there are some guys out there today that don't give a damn about sex. That's part of building and working on a relationship, is adding sex in there. So that's just the bonus. Ladies, that's a bonus. If you are using sex to get into a relationship with a man, you are a fool. Now, men, if you're talking about your finances, if you think that's what the woman is looking for, well, you have a problem. Now you're no longer on that board of what, you're on the board of what you can do for her, not how can you treat her. You see what I'm saying? Now you're a commodity. Well, yeah, this is what you're doing for her. Stop that. If anybody's talking about your finances before you even get to that level, you're comfortable enough to talk to them about it, leave them alone. Because there's certain questions you can't ask a woman. There should be questions that a woman shouldn't ask a man. Is that fair? Yes, it's fair. But will we do it? No. It's a double-edged sword, double standard, however you want to look at that. Another thing is you have people that they have their physical preferences, which is nothing wrong with that. But you can't go off your physical preferences and say you're looking for your soulmate. That does not work. Those two do not go together in any way whatsoever. I promise you they don't. Men, I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to be as straight as I can with you and as unfiltered. You need to know your worth. You need to know your worth. Because you see countless memes out there, women know your worth, I know my worth, I know my worth. But unfortunately, men aren't told, to know their worth, because men don't know their worth. All they know is I'm supposed to be a provider, a leader, or whatever like that. That's it. You really don't know your worth. A lot of y'all men don't know how to tell women no. And if you tell her no, she gets mad. You buckle in, you cave in, and then what? Mistake. Me personally, I do not go by happy wife, happy life. I absolutely do not agree with it, because just because you're pissed off and you're mad, you're going to make my life hell because you're pissed off and mad. That shows me you're immature and you can't express how you feel. You are a grown woman. Act like that. Act like one. If a woman can tell you when you're wrong, how a man's supposed to be, what his role is. You, as a man, should be able to communicate the same exact thing she's communicating to you. Ladies, if you cannot, will not listen to a man and take constructive criticism, you do not belong in a relationship. You should stay single. To be honest, most of you out there are single for a reason, because you are in your own way. You will not get out of your own way. You are set in your own ways mentally, and you're not open-minded. You're not. This is why you won't have the things that you truly want, because you're set in your own ways. And it's devastating, because I see really good men out there getting used by women. You know, oh, send me money. Oh, boohoo, whatever. That and you're on the other end receiving money from this guy, and she's like, oh, look at this fool. Con artist. There are men that are like that too. And that's sad, because you're using a person, you're using their kindness for weakness. And if it's a person that generally cares about children, you're taking advantage of that man. You're taking advantage of him. Now, your friends around you won't tell you that. They're like, oh, girl, yeah, if he gonna do it, go ahead. Yeah, not cool. And you'll be the same one bitching and complaining because a guy's using you. We always say karma. Hey, karma does not discriminate. You know, and it is sad, because we don't, like I said, we don't communicate effectively. We don't, express ourselves effectively. And I'm saying this to men because it really is directed toward men. Men, express how you feel. If a woman says you're bitching and complaining, put her in her place. Excuse me? Would you have me shut my mouth and tell you nothing how I feel? Because honestly, most women don't know what the hell they want. At one point, they were complaining because men don't express how they feel. They're cold, they're standoffish. Now that there are men expressing how they feel, oh, well, he's in his feelings. Oh, he's complaining. Ladies, which one is it do you want? So, I'm going to challenge each and every one of you out there with one thing, because many of you suck at this, is I want you to be quick to listen and slow to respond. I'm going to say it again. I want you to be quick to listen and slow to respond. That way, when a person is talking to you, you hear them and you're listening to what is bothering them, what their concerns are. They may not want to fix, they just want to vent or whatever. But if you take the time to do that, you will better understand that person, and you can communicate a lot better and more effectively. Ladies, I'm sorry, you guys, y'all suck at communication just as well as us guys do. You really do. You pout and moan and groan. Well, like there's a girl code. Well, if she says this, she really means this. If you are in your 30s and you still co-sign with that type of mentality, you deserve whatever comes your way. You absolutely do. Men and women, do not ask someone to do something you're not willing to do. Let me explain that. You don't want her talking to all these other guys while she's trying to talk to you, but yet you're talking to all these other females while she's trying to talk to you. See how that does not work at all? Guys, when you're going out on a date, be very selective about going on dates, as in what you're spending. You start going, lavish and everything, she's going to expect it. Stop it. Stay within your budget. Because if staying within your budget makes her think that you're cheap or whatever it is, you need to tell that sucker to go on about her way. Go on about your way. Find some guy who's going to gas you up, pump your head up, and shower you with money, and treat you like crap. Those same women are coming right back to you. Oh, well, you know, and nope. You know, and it's really sad. But I want to recommend a book to many of you, and that book is called The Five Love Languages. It's an amazing book. I really think it should be a prerequisite before you even get into a relationship because it's so awesome. And it'll allow you to understand what your love language is. And if the other person's read that book, you would be able to understand their love language. And you can build off of that. And many of y'all want to jump in a relationship with some of these men that's already built something. And then you think you want to just jump in there and reap the benefits of something you never helped him build. Same thing with you guys. Y'all want to jump into a relationship with a woman and you're not even fully developed yourself as a man. Like, that does not work. Many of you are not relationship material. Many of you are not marriage material. I don't care if I'm wifey. I'm wife material. No, you're not. You know, I'm husband. No, you're not. And I'm a little hard on the men in certain areas when it comes to stepping up. Because there should be no woman trying to tell you how you're supposed to be as a man. Because she has no freaking earthly clue at what it is to be a man. I don't give a damn as she saw how her father was and he was this way, he was that way. That's just an example where she can go off of, but she does not personally know what it takes to be a man. She does not. Just like you don't know what it takes for her to be a woman. You can only go off the examples you've had with women, female family members in your life, mentors, leaders, and so forth. So you really don't know what a woman is supposed to be like or what she's supposed to do. Now, if she's coming to you and she's not even fully developed as a woman and you're entertaining that, well, it's your fault if you're broken. It's your fault if you go broke. There are women out there that will run game on you men. Yes, women run game too. And there are women, and you can see it on Facebook, they take pride in, well, women are better deceivers or women are better liars. So, men, you should be a little more alert when a woman is talking to you. Is she being truthful to you? Just like they want to know if we're being truthful to them. Are you being truthful to them? Are they being truthful to you? Same thing I say to you men. Listen and hear what that woman is saying to you. Because I don't give a damn how good a woman thinks she can lie, how awesome she is at deceiving people. All liars give themselves away. All liars. Their actions. Always. Because you can only put up a front for so long until you get complacent. There's so much that goes into relationships that a lot of people just aren't willing to do. A lot of women get hurt, and that again goes back to picking the wrong men. So I want to go and step into a little realm real quick. Is, you know, if you're praying to God, if you're any of you out there that are believers in Christ, and you're praying to God for that, you know, that man to come along, for him to send that man to you, you best believe Satan is right there listening, and he's going to send you exactly what you just asked for. And you, the woman, have no damn clue he's fake until you've been in that relationship for about 2 months, maybe 2 years, 3 years, and then it's, oh crap. And that's the sad part, because you don't even know what the hell to look for. That goes back to listening and hearing what a man is telling you. That goes back to listening and hearing what a woman is telling you, because they always